Tigers are doing okay on that. It's actually there's my screen up there. It's not bad. It's the third quarter and we're doing quite well. And the world's going mad. All these guys in, you can hear the trumps in the background. It's like it's the end of the year with the footy groups coming in. People dressed as animals and God knows what all around. So it's, yeah, there's an example. Guy, I don't know if you saw that, but he was dressed as a British aristocracy and going for the hunt. So yeah, it's all happening here at the at PJ's today. So we get rather rowdy. This is this last quarter, so I won't be here for more than about half an hour. And I just realised I'm watching the grand final in Seville, and they've got to make sure there's actually some coverage of it because it'll be about 6:30 a.m. in the morning. So the bars will have to open especially to cater for fans, so hopefully it'll be happening, because if Richmond's actually a contender, I'll be very unhappy I can't see them play. Anyway, they started the fourth quarter, and I'll get back to you later. Well, Richmond's cruising to victory, and the lads outside are getting more raucous by the minute. It's weird, this sort of stuff normally happens end of the year. It's very strange. I don't know what the occasion is. Yeah, you're going to hear the sound. I don't get any sound of the footy game, so I suppose I'm getting some atmosphere that way, indirectly. There's one of the barmaids going out there to the den of the lions. Oh dear. I tell you what, Richmond's doing really well this time of year. I'm very happy, but I'm now worried about the obviously the grand final. This is not good news. I thought it was actually October. It would have been in Vietnam. When I was in Vietnam, that would have been fine, but no, it's definitely in Seville. But the bar that used to have it is actually really close to where I'm staying, so that should work out well. Fingers crossed. Yeah, PJ's doing quite well today. A nice day. Yeah, I'm pretty happy because I actually made a booking in Vietnam, in Saigon, yesterday, and it wasn't the same place I'd been to before. When there's nothing wrong with that hotel I stayed at. It was a very good hotel, and it was very centrally located, and then so I could just walk to the bars, and that was a bonus. Yet I just wanted to try something different, so I actually picked a place called The Nest, which is actually in District 7, and that's about 3 kilometres south of the CBD area. And I figured, after I discovered how cheap Grab is and convenient that is, I think, well, getting to the CBD from District 7 is nothing. It's so cheap and easy. It's not an issue. It's not a problem. So, and this place is a lot better. I think it costs a little bit more, but probably about $50 a night as opposed to 40 I think I was paying at the hotel. But this is actually an apartment, so there's cooking facilities, so it's a bit bigger. I went for the more opulent version, which is and it looks really nice. It looks really nice. And the other thing about it is that the area that it's located in just seems a lot less hectic than downtown Saigon, which is pretty full on. I mean, like I say, you've got people always riding motorbikes on the footpaths and things like that. It doesn't look like that in District 7. It looks more suburban, which could be a little more boring, but a little more genteel as well. And plenty of facilities and lots of places to eat and go out and about, and it should be just a nice change of pace. And seeing I'm renting, seeing I'm travelling, I don't have a permanent base there. I may as well try different parts of town, you know, to experience something different. So I'm quite happy about it. I'm quite excited actually that I picked a different place. I slept on it. I didn't make the decision on the day I discovered it. I'd seen this place before actually. I'm pretty sure I checked it out before on booking.com, but this time I thought, look, I've stayed at Ohana a few times, And as I say, there's nothing wrong with it. It's a good hotel. But I just wanted to try something different. That was the only motivation. I wanted to also be in a different part of town and just feel a different experience of living in Ho Chi Minh, Saigon, in a different part of town where a lot of expats live, a lot of Koreans live. It's a totally different mix. And I don't think you'd find many tourists down there. It'd be mainly expats, people probably working for international companies maybe. And it's a totally different feel, and I think that's good to try something different. So I'm looking forward to it now. I'm actually feeling good about it. So on this trip I'm actually staying in apartments. I've got an apartment in Seville, which I actually checked out on Street View today, and it's quite a narrow laneway that's located in fairly classic sort of Spanish place you'd expect. And woman's wrangling a couple of dogs. Yeah, so it's good. It's all happening. So I'm feeling a lot better about it. And one of the big bugbears is what I can't do is actually buy I don't need to buy a decent price SIM card until I actually get there. Whereas with the Spanish option, there's one online I can buy which has got about 4 gigs available, which will be more than enough to cover me for the month. And that seems pretty reasonable. It doesn't cost too much, but you're better off actually buying your SIM cards in Vietnam when you're there, from what I can gather, because the tourist ones aren't as good a value. And you get them at the airport, but they cost a bit more. And a couple of the options that I've seen don't include SMSs. That's what I use it for mainly. I want a bit of data, but I want primarily I'll be using the SIM card for SMS and data which will be for the for Grab. And I had a Viet Mobile SIM card I bought at a store last time, and it just wasn't up to scratch. It was getting terrible signal strength, and so I couldn't connect with Grab, and it's costing me money because having access to Grab is the best way of getting around in Vietnam by far. It is absolutely brilliant. So it's going to be even more important now. I'm actually in a different part of town, but it's only 3 kilometres. It's not that far away. I mean, I could even take the bus there, but it just takes longer and it's more circuitous. So I think I'd rather just get on the back of a motorbike. And I mean, they have so many good deals with Grab, the freebies, that half the time you're not even paying anyway, so why do you bother? So it's so good. Yeah, it's definitely better walking back against the wind. I'm hoping that you're getting a much better audio track this way. I was actually reading the Australian again, and there's some really good articles, and there was one by Jonathan Haidt, who's an academic in America, an author, and he's talking about, he's really worried about the future for democracy over there, because the identity politics has actually pushed the Democrats so far to the left that now there's a huge schism between the left and the right in America, and it's getting quite dangerous. And it's really, what's interesting is that Hollywood always likes to portray the extreme right as the physical aggressors, but there's been no evidence of that in reality. It's actually the other way around. The physical aggressiveness is from groups like Antifa, who are extreme left-wing groups and supposedly anti-fascist, but the irony is they're acting like classic fascists. They're just beating up people. They wear masks, so they're gutless wonders, and they're thugs, and they're middle class apparently. They're not from struggle town. They're sort of the liberal elites, bully boys, and just gives them a chance to basically go around intimidating people. They're pretty well the lowest form of life, from what I can gather. So that's like I say, Hollywood is just, it's becoming a crisis point. They're like power is a crisis for our standard of living. I think for our quality of life, Hollywood is becoming so politically correct that it's almost impossible to watch a lot of shows these days because they just keep pounding these political messages down your throat. And I'm sure I'm not the only person who's utterly fed up with it. And like I say, making out in shows like Rookie that extreme right-wingers are the major problem, and they're the violent people in society, is just a fantasy, a total Hollywood fantasy. It's just not backed up by the facts. So I just had a gutful of it. How about some reality? Conservative people are more law-abiding. If anybody's going to be breaking the laws, it's more likely to be someone from the left. Okay, you might get people from the right actually trying to diddle the system as far as white-collar crime's concerned. I mean, I know it happens a lot. It happens a lot. And that's not good either. But it's not like they're just from the conservative side. Anyway, very wealthy people in America are liberals now. Most of the billionaires are actually liberal. So they're the elites, and I'm sure they'll be doing exactly the same thing as anyone with money. Abusing the system and gaming it for their own good. So don't be naive and think, I think the dichotomy between politically these days is between globalists and nationalists seems to be the main dichotomy. The left and right thing doesn't quite fit anymore because identity politics has basically destroyed all that. So I'm just hoping for sanity. I'm just hoping that people like radical feminists are put in their place, people who keep pushing the jobs for people with certain ethnicities above other people. I mean, it should be on merit. Push merit. What is wrong with that? It's an old idea, but it's a good idea. People should get by on merit, not for how much money, say, that they may have inherited, or from a dynasty of some description, like in Europe, that they have their royalty. It should be through their own efforts. And identity politics is actually destroying that concept, and it's very dangerous. Please consider subscribing to my channel if you think there's anything there of use to you, or entertainment, or whatever. And either do that or give me a thumbs up, or if you're feeling really energetic, do both. That'd be great. But please don't ignore me. That's the worst thing you can do on YouTube, is be ignored.